What's going on in Rivers State? There are a lot of accusations here and there. That number one, that the sole administrator has now been given so much powers and he pretty much runs the election cycle. Secondly, they are talking about a provision in the law where they are saying that at least there must be a calendar period, I think of about 30 days. And a lot has not been observed as regards that. So what is really going on? What is the deal about the sole administrator?
Mr. Rufai, I want to inform you today and the generality of Nigerians that what is happening in Rivers State today is an unusual situation we have found ourselves. I think we have entered a full-blown military dictatorship in Rivers State, where from the actions of Mr. President and the sole administrator, we have seen that the Constitution of Nigeria and every law within this particular nation and within the state has been clearly suspended. Because when you look at the local government law, vis-a-vis our constitution, look at the constitutional provisions and look at what these guys are doing in the state today, you would ask yourself, where is all these things coming from? Now, from the look of things, the sole administrator has gone ahead to appoint a reset board, and they've now given a 30 days notice to conduct the said elections. Recall that we had wasted millions and billions of Rivers resources and naira to conduct the previous elections that was annulled by the Supreme Court on the basis of the 90 days notice which the then RISEC board did not follow. Now we are repeating the same issues that had created some of the tension we saw in the state that made the president claim to have, that made the president to rely on some of these issues to have declared a state of emergency in the Rivers State. Now the president is repeating the same thing. Now, the president is repeating this whole thing. This morning, I saw on social media a gazette dated 22nd of July 2025, where the president is saying that he has suspended parts of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law 2018. And you ask yourself, does the president or does the state of emergency, the constitutional provisions that establishes state of emergency 305, does it give the president the powers or the National Assembly powers to suspend any part of our laws within the Rivers State, even in a state of emergency? This is the type of situation we have found ourselves today. So the president is acting arbitrary and not traverse the constitution of this particular land.
What is the general consensus from people on the ground?
I can tell you for a fact that a lot of persons are not happy about it. Civil society organizations, political parties, some political parties are withdrawing. Civil society organizations are also going to court, approaching the court to decide or to look at the issues, the illegality going on in Rivers State. You know, one of the problems we have, or I have with this President Tinubu's administration is that it has done everything it has criticized previously. And when you look at what is happening in Rivers State, the president and his advisor do not give recourse to the laws of our land. So they do whatever they feel or they think is right in the circumstance without even giving recourse to our laws. You can even see from the Nigerian police to the DSS to every sector of this particular nation. You can't find where these persons are obeying the constitution or the laws of this land. And you ask yourself, what exactly is happening? Are we in a full-blown military dictatorship? If the president has declared himself as a civilian dictator, so he should come up plainly and state so. And let me also say this, our courts are not also helping matters in these whole things, in everything that is happening. The courts are not also helping matters.
In 2003, Tinubu accused Obasanjo of using the state of emergency declaration to interfere unduly in Lagos state politics, undermining Lagos state autonomy and its administration. He described that as an attempt to destabilize Lagos state. In 2014, the same Tinubu said to Jonathan that Tinubu's comment focused on Jonathan and the federal government's failure to address security issues and governance in Nigeria. That's why they were trying to impose a state of emergency in Niger Delta and obviously the northeastern region, as we went through that insecurity issue during Jonathan's time. And guess what? In 2025, Tinubu imposed a state of emergency on the people of Rivers State, imposed on them a sole administrator unrecognized by the government or by the constitution. And he used the National Assembly and with the quietness of the court to put stay on that state of emergency. in 2025, Lagos state government organized a local government election, now widely being criticized as one where the government used members of the APC to be election officials. Do you ever think that's ever going to be free and fair? In the same 2025, an illegal sole administrator imposed on the people of Rivers State is going to conduct a local government election without following due process of announcing it over 90 days. The same issue they had before when the Supreme Court nullified a previously conducted election. They're going to spend taxpayers' money to conduct an illegal election that will be challenged in the court of law. But again, our judiciary will play a key role in either accepting or not. But you would understand that if Mubarak gets back, most likely will never challenge it because it will be a lame duck governor who they've given conditions. And if he doesn't follow their rules, they'll impeach him. That's exactly what's going to happen. This same president who accuses two previous presidents of trying to impose a state of emergency because of their weaknesses and their failures. That's the same president who's done exactly the same thing. So what we have on our hands is a full-blown civilian dictatorship, according to Cheta and Waladier. What Nigeria is going through right now is a people in government who have no respect for the rule of law. This is why the likes of Femi Falana said it. We have people in government who have no respect for the rule of law, who thinks that they are far and above the rule of law in Nigeria. That's why we have the impunity that we have. I've said this before. When you have a president who gets seen with the killing and the crucifixion of our Constitution, that president would never respect the Constitution. He would do everything outside the Constitution to make sure he returns back in 2027. And that's exactly what you're seeing. For the fact that Abuja had to be described as a state, for the fact that it is well reported that Rivers State election was rigged, for the fact that they need to put people, puppeteers in there and puppets in their different local government to make sure that they can rig the election in 2027. That lets you know that what we have on our hands are people who don't have respect for the rules, who would ignore the Constitution and do whatever they like. All that is left to be seen is them coming out to say, now we are a full civilian dictator. Do whatever you want to do. We don't care. Because as a matter of fact, they don't care. And you can see already, a president has not been able to address insecurity in Nigeria. A president has not been able to address banditry and kidnapping in Nigeria. A president has not been able to address the issue of herders killing farmers in their own home and chasing them out of their farms and people getting killed at home in the nighttime when they sleep. A president has not been able to fix the food crisis, whose economic policies has failed, whose agenda, his own renewed hope agenda, has put more Nigerians in more poverty from day one. That's the same president who's coming to Nigerians to ask for another re-election. How can you come back when you've failed? A president who tells Nigerians, don't vote for me if I don't fix electricity. That's the same president who has gone to get solar panel to put in Abuja just so that he can have light and Nigerians don't. As the same president telling Nigerians, vote me back again. When are we going to wake up? Do we need another soothsayer to let us know that this man in prison, this man in government cannot fix Nigeria? He has no direction. It's just about politics. It's all about policy. It's not about governance. A president that celebrates the building of a bus stop lets you know how low we've fallen. So again, we have a full-blown dictatorship in our hand, a full-blown civilian dictatorship, only just waiting for the announcement. So I'm asking all of you, if you know 2027 is serious business, don't vote for this government. Come 2027, we need a new direction. And we don't know where we're going with this government. Even the government does not know where it's taking us to. How do you go on a ride with somebody who cannot define to you where they're taking you to? I'm asking you this question. So we must do all we can to galvanize, sensitize, educate others to make sure that they realize 2027 is for the fight of the soul of our country. And must get rid of these old politicians who have contributed to the destruction of our nation so that we can have a future for ourselves and for our children and our children yet unborn. That's my take. What is your take? Put that in the comment section. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe if you have not done so, and recommend this channel to others. I'll catch you up in the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye for now.